Were you artistic and creative when you were younger?
I guess so. I remember really enjoying drawing any assignments that we had to do with drawing or anything like that. But as I got older into school, I did not really go into like drawing classes or anything.
Hmm.
My brother is also an artist, and he like any drawing class that they offered, he took that. So I just kind of was like, okay, well that's my brother's thing, so I'm just gonna let him do that. So it's so interesting because it's only in the last couple of years that I've really gotten more into specifically drawing. I've always been a crafter.
Hmm.
My mom has always done a lot of crafts. She taught me how to knit while she was learning how to knit. So stuff like that.
Okay. And you mentioned that you've always been like creative in the crafting. You have any
Hmm.
memories of when you were younger? Anything you created?
I remember when my mom taught me how to sew. She bought me my sewing machine that I still have,
Mhm.
and we made a skirt. And I remember I picked out the fabric and the pattern, but I still did not like it.
Oh, do you know where that skirt is? Do you still have it around?
I don't. I kind of wish I did because it was really cool, kind of like Hawaiian style fabric. So I'm like, dang, that would have been great to like repurpose or adjust it or something.
Hmm. And you mentioned that you never took any art classes in school, growing up.
Not really. No, I took a lot of math and science classes because I was originally interested in going to school for botany
Hmm.
and horticulture. But I did take a choir class. So I love to sing. It's so much fun, but I don't I don't think I'll ever record myself doing
Oh no, no.
it. No.
Uh, um, if you had taken any art classes, like in your teenage years in school, do you think it would have benefited you in any way?
I think it really would have because I did take a drawing class my last semester at community college,
Hmm.
and I was a little frustrated because I felt like the techniques they were teaching us were very basic. I totally understand why they were teaching us that, but I
Hmm.
feel like if I had taken classes like in high school, I would have understood those things better, and I would have been able to take a higher level class like what I was wanting to take.
Right. Now, currently, what type of art do you enjoy creating?
I love to draw. I don't do it
Hmm.
all the time anymore. The pictures that you saw on my Instagram page were from a drawing challenge for the month of October.
Hmm.
I've done that a couple years now, but I love to draw. I love to make different crafts and everything. Um, I like to paint sometimes, but not very often.
Okay. And how often are you able to draw?
I when I'm doing it consistently, I like to do it every day, especially because I can tell I'm getting a little better every day.
Mm-hmm.
I have a problem with thinking up ideas of things to draw. So I
Hmm.
have a folder of photos on my phone of just drawing prompts from like Drawtober challenges, and there are other monthly challenges too.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you draw, what inspires you if you're going off of just inspiration alone?
Oh, like if I'm just going off of inspiration alone, I saw a call for artists the other day on Instagram, and the prompt was looking through rose colored glasses or something. So I have an idea in my head of something that I want to draw or create. Um, like with so it's like words that really inspire me. I'm a word person. I
Hmm.
love learning new words, using new words. And words just always always give me something to latch on to and inspire me a lot.
Okay. And what's your favorite medium to use to create art?
Pencil and paper, it's so simple. and I can carry it with me everywhere.
Do you have certain times when you prefer to draw?
I like to draw in the evenings, kind of at the end of my day. I'm kind of reflecting, but it also gives me the chance to step away from whatever has happened in my day and just relax.
Like a stress reliever?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And can you create art whenever you like, or do you have to be in the mood or inspired to create art?
Oh, that's a really good question. I feel like it depends. If I'm going off of a prompt, like someone else's idea of something to draw or create or something, I can do it anytime. If it's like an idea that I have come up with in my head or based on some kind of inspiration, I feel like I really have to be in the right mood to do it. Like I can write down the idea for it and come back to it, but if I try and I'm not in the right mood or the right headspace for it, it's not going to turn out as well as I want, and I'm just going to get mad.
When creating your art, do you start and complete it in one go, or do you take breaks and come back to it multiple times before it's done?
I feel like it depends on the size of it. Most of my drawings are pretty small. I have a pretty small sketchbook that I work with, and I can complete them in like 20 to 30 minutes, depending on how much shading. Larger pieces like that I did in my art class in community college, we did some really, really big pieces. Those did take a couple days.
Right. And having to step away from some of those bigger pieces, do you feel the same motivation and drive when you come back to it?
During that class, no.
No.
No,
right.
I just was getting frustrated because I'm like, okay, I'm done. Like I get to a point in a lot of large projects because I used to cosplay a lot too. And I would get to a point that it's not 100% perfect. It's not exactly like as good as I know it can be, but creatively I'm done. Creatively, I need to just walk away from it. There's nothing more I can contribute myself.
Right. So it's not being a perfectionist at it, but it's not wanting to put any more into it creatively.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's like I just don't have any more to give to it.
Do you believe that your art reflects what you're feeling on the inside?
I think it can. When I'm doing something more like writing poetry, definitely. Um, when I'm drawing and doing stuff like that, I feel like I'm doing something that this is a part of me inside, it's like a positive part or something that I'm like, I either want to process it or I want to enhance it. I want more of this energy coming out.
But your intention when creating it isn't to release a certain feeling or message or anything like that, is it?
Not really, not really in any medium except for drawing, or I mean, except for writing poetry, which I
Oh,
only recently got started with.
oh, okay. And do you have anyone who encouraged you to create art?
My brother is he's really good at encouraging me. This last October, I decided to do two separate Drawtober lists, but combine them into one drawing for each day. And I had a really hard time coming up with ideas of how to do that at first. And he helped me come up with some ideas and really got me started on those first couple days.
Oh, okay. And it's safe to say you look up to him.
I do.
Okay.
Artistically for sure. I think he has a lot of talent, and I wish I wish he would I wish he would do more with it. I wish he would do more art with it.
Oh, okay. Because that was my next question. If you had any artists that you look up to, but clearly your brother is an artist, so
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And I have a few friends too. One of my
Hmm.
best friends is a photographer, and some of the stuff she comes up with is so like these ideas for shoots are so amazing. Another friend of mine is, I know he did a comic book a few years ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and like his artwork is so amazing. He lives in New Orleans now. I'm pretty sure his handle is Seize the Crown. So
Hmm.
his stuff is amazing.
Oh, okay. And how do you like to show or display your art?
I like to some of my pieces I do have hanging up from, I mean, they're older pieces from a really long time ago. If I really, really love one of my drawings or something, I will probably take it out of my plan or out of my sketchbook, or I'll take a really high quality picture of it and get it printed so
Hmm.
I can hang it on the wall. I love having wall art all around me. You can't really see the background, but
Hmm.
most of my walls are 100% covered
Oh.
with artwork from many artists that I've met throughout the years.
Hmm. It's good that you keep like art and things of such around you. It's like
Yes.
it's encouraging in a way.
It's inspiring, and it kind of provides like a comfort to me, because sometimes the outside world, like watching the news and stuff, it gets so sad
Hmm.
and honestly ugly. And then I get to come in here and I look at all the beautiful stuff on my walls.
Right. Have you ever sold a piece of your art before?
I have not. Nope,
Do you have any desire to in the future?
not really. I have a regular job and I do that for fun. It feeds my soul.
Hmm.
So I feel like I'm the type of person that if I were to do it as a job, it wouldn't feed my soul as well. And I mean, artists that do that for a living, you're amazing.
Hmm.
That's incredible. I just know that I'm the type of person that it's like, nope, I need a job that I can go and clock out and they tell me to go home, you know? Because
Uh-huh.
otherwise I'll be doing it 24/7.
Right. That makes sense. Your sketchbook, do you carry it with
Mm-hmm.
you out and about?
I try to. I'm carrying a really small purse right now and it doesn't fit. And that's like really frustrating to me right now, because I'm out and about and I think of things that I'm like, dang, I wish I had my sketchbook with me so I could draw this up real quick or something.
Hmm.
So, but for the most part, I like to. Sometimes I don't because of the purse I'm carrying.
Right. Do you are you able to later on at a later time transfer those ideas to your sketchbook once you're home around it?
I will usually, if it's something that I'm worried that I'm gonna forget the idea of or something, I'll make a note in my phone, or I do have a little notebook that I carry with me to make notes in and
Hmm.
lists, so I'll write it in there. And maybe if I can't find the word for it, I might like draw up a little sketch or something. I do carry a pencil with me
Hmm.
wherever I go, but it's just hard not being able to carry my sketchbook.
Right. You mentioned painting. Do you paint often, or what inspired you to want to try painting?
I don't paint very often. Every once in a blue moon now, kind of. But I started painting when I was like really little, and like with finger painting and stuff, and then hanging out with my cousins. They liked to like go to the craft store and get canvases and a little bit of acrylic paint and just some brushes and have some fun.
Hmm.
So that was something that we didn't really do at my house, but I thought that was really fun and
Hmm.
I liked doing that. So it was mostly like hanging out with my little cousins, and I'm just like, oh, this is actually a really good idea. I like this. So,
Right. And what advice would you give to someone who they they like art and they were trying to try it and get into it, but they were struggling at some points?
keep trying, but also try different mediums, try everything. There's so many different ways to be creative and so many different materials you can use. Like I primarily have used acrylic paints because they're really easy and simple. But this last year I tried watercolors for the first time, and I would love to try to work on getting better with those because they're very different than acrylic. So it's like I'm not automatically good at 99% of the art that I try. I promise I'm not the
Mhm.
first time, but if I just keep working at it and trying different things, because I
Mm,
mean, I've drawn with like art pencils
mhm.
and everything, but most of the time I just use like a little simple mechanical pencil, like a $2 mechanical pencil. That's
Well,
mostly what I use.
mhm.
So,
And you mentioned that you create art and you draw and stuff to feed your soul. So I guess
mhm.
this kind of answered my next question, where it was, do you have dreams of being a big, huge artist?
Oh, um, no, no, I think it would be cool to be known for that,
Hmm.
in some to some level. But like I said, I don't want that to be my job.
Hmm.
I'm cool clocking in and clocking out and having somebody else tell me when to go home.
Right. More advice to offer. What would you tell someone who loves creating art and wants to be a better artist?
Practice, practice,
Mm.
practice, practice. Listen to criticism too. It's hard to hear a lot of the time, but those that are giving, as long as it's constructive, those that are giving you constructive criticism are really only doing it to make you better.
Mm.
They're only doing it to help you get better and to help you achieve your goals. So practice and seek out, but be open to criticism.
Right. Okay, well, I want to thank you for sitting down with me and for being here in this interview, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Michael. This was so
Yeah,
much fun.
glad you had fun. I enjoyed it too. All right, you have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye.
You too.